Good morning, Ninja Nation. Sandy C is here with some uncommon sense, and I'm here to talk to you the difference between fiat currency, funny money, and the real stuff. The shiny silver, metal, copper, gold, palladium, platinum, whatever. What are the differences? What are the benefits of each? Other stuff. I gotta find my money. This stuff is actually worth something still. Let's find it. It all went flying. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Okay, so real quick. Benefits of the funny money, the fiat currency. Well, it's accepted everywhere. It's mandated by the government that right now it has to. Okay? It's relatively lightweight. You fold it, put it somewhere. Easy to hide, easy to disguise, you can hide it anywhere. And it's currently legal tender. This is kind of what not really, they're returning it now, but, this is still the way the world goes round. But no fiat currency lasts forever. They typically only last, 50 to 100 years before something happens to it and a new dog comes in the pen, okay? The other thing, if you're saving this stuff at home, you should have one of these anyway for your stuff. I'm not sponsored by this company. I'm just showing you there's a firebox. You should have a firebox to hide your money in if you don't have a safe. Because in a fire, it just disappears. You got nothing. Okay? Cool thing about, your metals. It's my favorite coin. If there's a fire, and say I just leave this out in the middle of my floor in the living room. Well, after the fire department puts the darn fire out, guess what? I'm going to walk to the middle of the pile of ashes, get me a shovel, and I'm going to scoop up a big old block of silver. It's still there. It didn't go anywhere. It changed its shape, so yeah, if I'm going to need to sell it, I'm going to need to get it tested and get an assay and, prove to whomever, that it is, in fact, 999 pure silver, gold, copper, whatever the metal is. But it's still there. Whereas paper money is gone. So, at home or somewhere, I've got really good hiding places, not at my current home, but other locations. So I like to store a little bit of, I like to store some metals and then, store a little bit of cash too, but nothing too crazy. Because God forbid there's some type of fire. Okay, so that's something really cash is really susceptible to. The other thing is, this has been money for over 10,000 years. For almost all of recorded history, this has been money. Pieces of 8 that you can chip them and break them off. They're in 8 pieces. So you could pay in smaller denominations, but you can't carry this in a satchel in your pocket or anything like that. It's very heavy. You need a good belt, maybe even suspenders. But it's going to look pretty obvious with you jingling down and you make yourself a target. Okay, so, Sandy, what the hell? If I can't walk down the street with this, but I can this, what's the point? What's the point? Why have we gotten away from all this? Why have we gotten away from this? And now we go this. But when you see any treasure hunt in the universe, it's always for gold, a pot of gold, lost silver, lost gold. It's always about precious metals. They're not talking about finding Hitler's stash of stupid Nazi bills or anything like that. It's never made any treasure hunt. We're always looking for the pot of gold, looking for the shipwreck with gold on it. Because if there was paper money on it, the salty ocean probably just destroyed it anyway. Okay? And there's not any intrinsic value. You might have some collector's value, but then that limits your buyers and makes it very difficult to sell. It's not liquid. Okay? So people's biggest argument, this is liquid. I can use it right now. Okay? I can do this too. I can use this right now, very quickly. Okay, there's a lot of pawn stores in town that'll instantly give me cash for this. okay? Or better yet, I go online to someone like Miles Franklin. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm using them because I know them. They've been around for 40 years, guys, something like that, maybe even longer. They're trustworthy. They've been in the business. They're not trying to, ruin their lives by screwing up a market. This is their business, and they do it well, okay? If I'm going to buy a house and I've got my hoard of silver, people are like, what are you going to do? Well, last time you bought a house, did you just have 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 grand just laying around? No, you probably didn't. You probably sold a car. You probably sold a house. You may have sold some stocks, bonds. You may have sold something like that. Maybe you sold a watch. Maybe you sold some other stuff to turn it into liquid cash. Same thing here, people, okay? But this is a lot easier to sell than, say, your car and get a fair rate. It's a lot easier to sell. Typically, you're going to get, it's more consistent. Your stocks are really doing this. This is a lot more consistent. It's not going to ebb and flow quite as hard. So you don't really take those penalties or hits like you would sometimes selling a stock. Okay, that can hurt. So it's very easy to sell and offload this stuff. Very, very easy. Pawn shop, instantly. I could be back in 20 minutes and turn all this metal into cash. Just like that. From this to that. It's very easy. Okay, if I want to wait a little longer, like a couple days and get a better rate, I can go online again to someone like Miles Franklin. So if you've never looked at buying gold or silver, maybe you think it's too rich for you. Maybe you've got it on a pedestal. Maybe because of our life, I got to be that guy that finds gold in the treasure wreck, in the shipwreck, or we think we put it on a pedestal. You know what else we put on a pedestal? We got it up here. It's not that hard. Coin like this is $25 right now. $25 for a pure ounce of silver. Stack these up, put them in a tube. I'll put them in a fireproof box. I've got other hidey holes, things like that. But I don't have to. I've got some really good hidey holes that, a big box like that won't fit in. So I just put them in there in some type of, Ziploc or something like that. God forbid there is a fire, but if there is, I'm back with my shovel, baby, and I've got a big old puddle. And I'll take it to a jeweler, metal shop that can do the assay, and boom, get it printed up. Boom, now I've got 500 ounces of silver in a puddled silver. It's still the same. I can take that, go to Miles Franklin, and go, hey, I got a big heavy puddle. Give me money, give me spot for it. Okay, so think about that. Because if all this is in your mattress and your house goes up, you're gone. And even in a firebox like that, they're only rated for a certain amount of, like a firewall. You'll see in commercial buildings, 2-hour firewall, 4-hour firewall, 6-hour firewall. Well, maybe you don't have the Mac Daddy firebox. Maybe you've got a 1-hour firebox. Maybe that fire lasts for 2 hours. Or maybe you've got a 1200 degree box and the fire got up to 1400. Everything inside that, the box will probably still be there. It'll be scorched, it'll be melted, it'll be sealed shut. They're designed to do that. But either way, the internal temperature can reach high enough, and all this is set on fire. You could end up cracking that thing open. You got nothing but a pile of ash. Whereas otherwise, if you have this, you have nothing but a puddle of precious metals, which still works the exact same. So I want you guys to open your mind. Think of money in a different way. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a YouTuber out here that's been doing this for a few years and have been learning on my own. And I encourage you to do the same. Go out there. If you didn't participate in silver in my stocking, go out and get yourself a silver coin. They also make a beautiful ring. I don't know if just by flipping it. Oh, you can hear it. That's real money. That's real wealth. I got outbid on a home recently. I wasn't recently shopping for a home, but a really good opportunity laid itself in front of me, so I made a deal. And I asked God, hey, look, if this isn't the right one for me, send me a sign. Well, a couple hours later, a full cash offer came in. Cash buyer, boom. Pretty good sign with me. No harm, no foul. But I was prepared and ready if I needed to. I could have easily bought the home with the silver I had saved. And because it's silver, I haven't lost all the money like this. You know, inflation, well, let's see, let's just make it easy. Here's $100. Inflation's gone up 20%. Now I've got $80. Yes, I know going backwards that way doesn't work the same in percentages, but we're just gonna keep it easy, okay? All right, so that's what I used to get $100 worth of gas. Now I still pay $100, but I'm only given the equivalent of 80. Okay? Whereas all the silver that I've bought, I still have $100 worth of value. Does that make sense? My value in my silver has gone up, or at least stayed the same. Whereas my cash right now, yes, this is still $100, but I cannot buy the same amount of stuff this year as I could in, say, well, even 2020 or 2015 or 2010 or 2000. This has gone down, down, down. And eventually this will die and there will be a new currency taking over. Will it be a digital dollar? That will be the world reserve currency? Will it be a Chinese yuan? You know, who knows what it'll be? Will it be a rupee? Will it be a ruble? We don't really know. Will it be something new that's not even been created yet? Well, the answer is yes. At some point, yes, to all of the above. And another thing people don't understand is these American dollars are not the same, and I don't just mean the picture, but this is not the same money that your grandparents spent, okay? There's been some fudging to the financial system. So this is not the same as your grandparents' US dollars. I'm trying to do air quotes with these fingers, okay? So, get yourself some silver, folks. Or gold. See, I'm poor, so I can afford this whole big gold. That's all I can do. And some copper, you know? Another benefit, copper and silver, are antibacterials. Oh, you're afraid of some little germs, go ahead and keep one of these in your pocket. Oh, they're all dying. You can hear them. You can hear all those germs. Oh, they're burning. All right, guys. Look into precious metals. This is good to hide some of this. This is good. You know, I like buying cars, flipping trailers, things like that. Boom. This makes it quick, easy, wham, bam. You know, but keep it in a firebox. Keep it hidden. Don't take too much of it. For really hoarding, get into the metals. You can hide it, bury it, stick it wherever. It's not going to go away. You know, think about it. This has been in the ground for millennia. Has anything happened to it? No. Go ahead and dig some paper, stick your paper money in the ground. Come back in 1,000 years. See what isn't there. All right, guys. Sandy C is out. Get in on it.